Hello everyone, this is Crode giving you game 1 in a series between Yumiko versus Lucifer here on Echo Isle. Yumiko spawning as the blue human player, almost said Terran, blue human player here on the top left hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Lucifer is spawning as the orange undead over here on the top right. Now, I normally have a good idea of how long these games last because, well, they don't really hide how long the game is on replays or on websites, but I think it's been so long since from the time I downloaded this to when I'm actually playing this that I have really no good clue. That's gonna definitely help me out or make this enjoyable experience more enjoyable for me, hopefully. If it is an hour-long game, well, this will be the only game I cast. Otherwise, hope you guys enjoy it, as I do believe this is a rather a 5-game set between Lucifer and Yumiko. I believe this is the finals from Zotac Cup, straight from the weekend. The games were fairly highly rated, and hopefully it just gets better and better. So far, we are looking at a Mountain King coming in from Yumiko. Meanwhile, it should be a Death Knight coming in from Lucifer. Yes, Lucifer M0. Not quite sure M0 who his title sponsor is anymore. Even HPE, I'm not even 100% sure who HPE's what that stands for. I believe the last time I really knew teams was We Made Fox Soccer, and that was a long time ago, back in the olden days. Now we are seeing a scout tower already being established in the front here, and some people asked me, why do human players build that scout tower out here? Well, first of all, they only build this arcane tower out in the center here against an undead player. The undead player has been known to come in and try to get in a lot of quick kills on unsuspecting peasants, especially after the militia creep. So what you're going to see is the lower hit point peasants are going to just try and run back home. And after once they run back home, that Death Knight should not be able to get enough damage or doesn't want to take that much damage and lose mana from that Death Coil. Mountain King does pick up a Gloves of Haste. You can see this one low. Oh, was that a steal? No, it was not. That was just a split second too late. And that Death Knight now in a little bit of trouble, as the Mountain King may be able to get off a Stormbolt and stun that Death Knight there. Footmen and now looking to retreat back a little bit, a day late, a dollar short, so to speak, as militia are now being called down here to the south. And we may try to creep out this green militia creep, or militia creep out this green creep camp. The Death Knight has decided to use that Rod of Necromancy, pick up a couple of skeletal minions. You can see them making their way over right now. The Footman does see that he is outnumbered here and does not want to try and engage. The Death Knight should be able to get off a shot or two as this Death Knight now makes its way over. Coming back over here, though, you can see that the Mountain King could be joining in on this fight at any particular moment, and then pushing back again. We should be seeing perhaps more militia make their way over, as there is a quick Acolyte who may get taken down. Yes, that is a very long stun from that Stormbolt when it is not on a hero unit. So far, that Footman and Mountain King army is still trying to make its way over, as we're taking a look at the Death Knight and skeletal minions. So far, this mountain, just getting a couple of text messages, my apologies. Militia now trying to come in as well, as we are looking at this Death Knight trying to just prevent any creeping here. There's the Death Coil. Yes, the Death Knight does steal that kill there. Looks like he may be able to steal up another kill, but Yumiko is the one with ever reinforcing units. Oh, this is going to be a very beautiful... Oh no, the surround kind of falls apart, and the Mountain King and all the units are trying to come together, and the Mountain King does get another Stormbolt there off, and this is not looking good. That one Death Knight, there we go, there's another kill. There is a Pendant of Energy in the back. Is the Death Knight going to try and run for it? Yes, he is going to run for it. Oh, a beautiful block by Yumiko, using the creeps along the backside, as we're now looking at a quick Death Coil to heal a ghoul. This is still looking like a one-sided battle here. There goes another peasant, the Death Knight, doing a great job bringing in some additional ghouls, but there is another Stormbolt, and that should be a quick town portal or perhaps fall. No, it is going to be a quick town portal there. We may get level 3 onto that Mountain King. There it is, as the Arcane Vault will be quickly repaired and rebuilt, and this will allow the Mountain King to heal back up while that Death Knight is low on hit points. Death Knight sitting at level 1, very, very close to level 2 though, as it is going to be getting Unholy Aura rather quickly. That Unholy Aura should help out the overall health regeneration on that Death Knight, but this is still not a good situation to be in. So far, you can see that that Death Knight is now making its way around. He is back up to 116 hit points. Meanwhile, down over here, the orange creep camp has been cleared out as Yumiko setting up a quick arcane tower and most likely will be following it up with that Mountain King. As the skeletal minions are making their way over, the Death Knight has a lot of ground to make up. The problem right now is that he is currently behind in experience. If it was going up against an Archmage, that wouldn't be nearly as bad. The problem is that he's going up against a Mountain King. With the ghoul army that Lucifer currently has, those ghouls will fall rather quickly. That Mountain King's Stormbolt can Stormbolt deal 225 damage, so any relatively low hit point ghoul does become vulnerable to a quick attack. We are seeing a Fire Lord come in from Lucifer though, as he wants to try and bring the hurt. Meanwhile, that Mountain King loses some of its mana and quickly goes after the lava spawn. Very, very smart. You cannot allow those lava spawns to start splitting. A guard tower is now being constructed as the troll berserkers are now backing off. Gargoyles are in the air, and this is going to be a problem for Yumiko. Yumiko does not have rifleman, and he is losing his troll berserker. Forest Troll Shadow Priest is still alive. You can see another quick lava spawn being brought over. Militia now being brought down as well, as the Mountain King now leads the army against the rest of the ground units. However, there are still a fair number of ghouls in the air. That one low hit point ghoul did get death quelled as the Death Knight still trying to run away. The Fire Lord may get taken down here, and yes, it looks like it will get taken down. Mountain King still sitting at plenty of energy or plenty of mana at this point. Should be able to get off another Stormbolt here in just a moment. Another Troll Shadow Priest does fall. You can see that that Gargoyle is at 275 hit points, and now the Death Knight is just attempting to run away. Alright, this lava spawn, it could get Stormbolted and taken down pretty quickly. This is not good news. Why would you even go near those creeps, as those creeps are now just getting free damage onto the Footman Mountain King army. As the gargoyles try to dominate the air, we should perhaps be seeing a blacksmith come in from... No blacksmith, just now researching defend. We are not transitioning into rifleman as I would normally assume, and that is a bit of an oddity at this point. You can see that there is one arcane tower. The gargoyles are going to go after that. You can see that there are lava spawns as well. Not quite sure why the arcane tower is not going after the Death Knight to try and remove some mana. Arcane tower quickly gets taken down there with really no harm, no foul, no loss. So far, though, the Footmen need to figure out a way to fight back against this flying pack of gargoyles. They are moving relatively quickly across this map here, but there is some defend, and this is actually interesting. You can see that occasionally the attacks do bounce back. Yes, there's an attack there that bounces back. So yes, piercing damage can deflect, and that actually reflects the full amount of damage back. More importantly, it is still a piercing damage attack, meaning that those gargoyles actually take a lot more damage. However, they do move slower, and you cannot really bank on the fact that the Reflect is going to be able to take down this sea of gargoyles here. Alright, in comes the militia. That is a lot of militia now coming back over. There is a Stormbolt, and the Death Knight is going to be in trouble. He is trying to get away. He is unable to do so, and without the leader of this all-powerful undead army, things can go from bad to worse rather quickly. Level 3 Death Knight already down. The Mountain King, however, no real way of trying to deal with all of these gargoyles, and even using Stormbolts will not be that effective. Double guard towers, no masonry upgrade though, as the gargoyles are still just flying around here. Alright, what can that Mountain King do? It does have double clarity potions, as the gargoyles now perhaps try and slowly whittle down this arcane vault with fortified armor. Here we go. Taking a look back over here. It is going to be quite some time before we get an orb of fire onto that Mountain King. More importantly, that Mountain King does have 2 clarity potions, meaning he is gonna really try. What's going on? Oh, he dropped his pendant and then picked up a pendant of energy, and he still has a pendant of energy. This Mountain King is gonna have close to 500 mana. At 500 mana and those clarity potions, he should be able to really freely use Stormbolts against all of those gargoyles there. Alright, the poor peasants now getting taken down. There is one footman here. You can see the blacksmith finally coming into play. Mountain King still sitting off to the side, still using that clarity potion. Getting up to 400 mana shouldn't be a problem as that clarity potion starts to wane. And he should be at about 390, picks up the pendant of energy there, and now is sitting at 585. All right, hoping to perhaps pick up an orb of some sort. No orb at the marketplace, and with no orb at the marketplace, this is actually bad news. Tome of Intelligence right there. Mountain King up to 600 mana and counting, as it is still not yet at level 5. All right, what's going to be happening next? Are we getting a new hero? No, we are not, even though we are at Keep. There is that level 1 upgrade. And oh, a beautifully placed down ensnare, making sure to at least whittle down that Guardian... Excuse me, that Gargoyle army. Nicely played as that Mountain King sitting at 415 mana and rising. All right, this one particular low hit point footman does have to be careful. It could take a lot of damage there, down to 15. And it looks as though there's the Stormbolt, and it looks as though the footman should end up surviving, as the Mountain King may decide to use a healing scroll right there. Death Knight and Fire Lord now already on the move. They are trying to creep out the map. Those gargoyles going to be really difficult to take down now, especially with that Obsidian statue. Obsidian statue makes it so that all of those units are getting healed, and there is not enough riflemen on the field to really take care of any of that damage. Trying to go Dragonhawks versus Gargoyles, that is also not a very economical trade, because the Gargoyles are such good anti-air units already. Gargoyle sitting at 61 over 70. Here we go. There is the attacks now coming in. There is a couple of gargoyles getting ensnared down, but it looks as though Lucifer is going to start to recover very nicely, as we are now getting up a Blood Mage. It is going to be the mana battery strategy, a strategy where that Mountain King has so much mana and he's constantly throwing out Stormbolts that it doesn't really matter. If that Mountain King can get to level 5, which is very possible at this point, a level 5 Mountain King with mana battery and 600 mana already, that is easily, 9 Stormbolts before you even account for regeneration. That may be what we're looking at here, as that Mountain King now heads off to the north. Alright, the Gargoyle army completely healed up here. There is no shade nearby, as the Mountain King now looks for the rest of that army. There is a couple of Crypt Fiends now on the low ground here. That Mountain King still wandering out across the map. 2 scout towers here, which will most likely get taken down, as Yumiko now goes into a workshop. This is still not good. We are going into castle. Meanwhile, Lucifer is already sitting at 50 over 50 supply. The Mountain King going to sneak inside here and perhaps get some easy shots. Is he going to be able to make his way in? There's a Stormbolt. He gets to level 5, but is it really worth it? That Mountain King now just wandering around does have a lot of damage to pretty much take down a ghoul the instant that it is ready. There goes another ghoul there, as the Mountain King now just suffering a whole bunch of damage at the hands of this Nerubian tower and also the Black Citadel. There is also another Stormbolt there. You can see that Acolytes are falling, and that Mountain King has to be in a little bit of trouble. Mountain King sitting at 760 mana and counting, 450 mana and counting, as we're making our way to the top left. What is going on here? Mountain King now looking to scout out that top left position. What is going on? What is happening? As that Mountain King now just wanders around the map here. All right, gargoyles, obsidian statues, crypt fiends, lava spawns are all just wandering around. This Mountain King picks up a staff of teleportation, hoping to get in even more damage. Meanwhile, the Blood Mage is hiding in the backfield here. And oh, see, this is where I do not like to see gargoyles. Gargoyles absolutely own the air, and the Dragonhawk Rider can only really stay up on top of these guard towers if he is hoping to fight back those gargoyles here. I'm not sure if the flak cannons have been upgraded. Let's take a look back as that Mountain King now wandering over once more. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, Staff of Teleportation, and close to 650 mana maximum. That is going to be key if this Mountain King hopes to really make a play. There you go. There's the Blood Mage. Mountain King now takes a lot of damage. He is separated from the rest of his army. Perhaps he will teleport to the backfield here. We're seeing a 39/48, and we are just waiting on the flak cannons to come online for the flying machine to finally try and challenge the rest of these gargoyles. Flying machine being added, another flying machine lying in wait here as the Mountain King. Oh, Soulfire. Oh no, what is that? Corruption and Invulnerability now coming in. There is a quick shackle, and there was also a banish onto that one Dragonhawk Rider. That was an interesting play there, making it so that the Dragonhawk Rider can engage without a problem. Alright, here you go. We are going to see more and more engagements. The Blood Mage down to 29 hit points. There's the Death Coil, not even bothering for the Soul Burn. And the flying machines are just trying to just tear open the skies. Mountain King couldn't come back in with a Stormbolt. However, he is low on mana. And there is the GG. Yumiko loses game 1 to Lucifer. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.